Good evening, morons. It's Victor. Give me Flickman. I have my prerequisite glass of whiskey here. Well, watered down whiskey, slightly watered down. And you can tell by the subject here, by the headline, suicide. First of all, I want to apologize to all the people who have contacted me regarding their suicidal thoughts. And I'm not, that sounds so like I'm joking, but I'm not. A lot of people have contacted me and told me they have suicidal thoughts and have threatened to commit suicide and have wanted me to do this or that. And I remember this one guy, I don't remember who he was, but he was sending me articles about 7-Eleven in Japan. And I'm like, why are you sending me articles about 7-Eleven? I don't care about 7-Eleven. I don't, that's nothing to do with me. He's like, well, it's owned by a Japanese company, so you should care. I'm like, I don't care about everything Japanese, So... and other people who've said, if I lived in Japan, I would have killed myself. And anyway, the reason I'm making this video, let's get to that, because that's really, I was touched. Okay. Well, I was touched. Was I touched? Yeah. I don't know what to do. I feel guilty enough when you guys email me and I can't email you back. I do my best, but I think I email like 2 out of 3 back. But I get like 10 emails a day, and some of them some of you I don't email back because it's a stupid question. And often the really stupid questions I will email back. Like I got an email asking me what the temperature was in Hokkaido was. I don't know, man. I'd have to Google that shit. Why don't you Google it, please? Please don't. Are you trolling me? Are you trying to kill me through the internet by asking me stupid questions like that? I don't fucking know the temperature in Hokkaido. I don't live in Hokkaido. And I tried, you want to be a nice guy. You want to drive through life. You don't want to be that asshole cutting off people and running red lights. But sometimes, you got to do shit that you're not proud of just to survive, just to get by. But, anyway, so this is the email I get, and I'm not going to say his name, but I'm going to read it to you, and I hope you'll bear with me. And I'll pause. Okay. So here's the header. The header says suicide. And I think this guy emailed me a week ago saying, you mentioned suicide in your videos a lot. Something you were trying to tell us, as if to imply that I'm suicidal. But let me start with that. I'm not suicidal. I've never been suicidal. Well, no, it's not true. I've never been suicidal, but I was not suicidal until I was suicidal. I had occasional suicidal feelings in high school until my girlfriend, who I confessed these feelings to, said I was stupid. And then she proceeded to tell me about her father, who had actually committed suicide, and how angry she was about it, and how he had basically fucked over the whole family by doing this. And I think she had 3 sisters. Yeah, she had 3 sisters. So 4 girls. He left 4 girls and a wife. And he committed suicide. And she was pretty pissed off by the whole thing. And after that, I thought, you're pretty selfish, if you do that. Now, I know some guys are like, well, no, it's not that simple, man. You can't criticize someone for trying to commit suicide or wanting to commit suicide. I understand that. It's not that easy, not that simple. But don't you want to know what's going to happen tomorrow? Don't you want to, I don't know, see the next episode of Breaking Bad? Don't you want to see to find out maybe the people you hate will eventually get their comeuppance? I don't know, but aren't you curious about tomorrow? Really? Do you just want to check out, clock out? What do they call it? Put your time card in the machine. I don't understand that. Listen, this life is short enough. Believe me, I'm so young inside, and my body's 46 years old, and I'm starting to feel like, oh, my leg hurts for no reason. That stuff's starting to happen. I'm still fucking young. I kick most of your guys' asses, just so you know, and drink you under the table, right? But I can see it coming. Half my life has passed before me. I don't have that that youthful illusion of immortality that a lot of you do have. A lot of you don't realize how fleeting this moment is that we have right now. You really don't. You're like, I'll do that tomorrow. I got a lot of time. I'm young. Just rub one out tonight and go to sleep. No, that's not how you should be living your life. You should be a little more aggressive, I think. But I'm getting a little off topic. Okay, the point being that I understand that some suicidal people feel it's completely justified, and I suppose I have to respect that. I have to admit that I do not understand that position, and that I can't honestly say I know what it feels like to be that depressed. I can't honestly say, and from a philosophical point of view, I got to say that this life is so fleeting that really, what does it matter? You want to check out 50 years early. You're 20, you're going to die at 70. It really, the relevance of our lives is come on, who am I kidding? I mean, in 1,000 years, someone's going to stumble upon one of my videos and say, who the fuck is this guy? I can't believe this guy had 100,000 subscribers. Hopefully I'll reach 100,000 subscribers before I die. But they'll be like, and maybe my great grandson will be getting a Google check, $10 every year from his great grandfather who made videos on YouTube. And they'll be like, isn't it funny? People used to pay for videos. The people. Before, people used to pay for advertising. Now it's just implanted directly into our brains. It's all fleeting. That's what I'm saying. Really, in the overall, when you look at everything from a philosophical point of view, I can't finish that sentence. In the overall, someone finish that sentence for me. It doesn't matter. We're all irrelevant. I understand that, but. Someone who kind of inspired me was Woody Allen. A lot of you, Woody Allen sucks now. But just because someone sucks, it doesn't mean some of the things he says isn't true. For example, masturbation is having sex with someone I love. So that's what's wrong with that, right? That's one of his old classic jokes. Or sex is only good if sex is only dirty if you're doing it right. I think that's something like that. Anyway, he also said a couple other things that I respect. One of them is 90% of success is showing, or I'm paraphrasing and I'm maybe even lying, but half the battle is showing up on time. So if you want to get a job, show up on time. That's one thing. And the other thing is, basically, life is kind of irrelevant. Maybe there is no God, but you still got to try. You got to do your best while you're here, because maybe it's all irrelevant, but we need the eggs. We realize it's all silly and nonsense, but we need the eggs. So here's the letter. After 8.5 minutes, I finally get to the letter. Well, I am suicidal, and let me tell you why. So this is the guy who emailed me and said, hey, are you suicidal? Because it sounds like it because you mentioned it. And I said, no, I'm not. So he writes, well, I am suicidal. Let me tell you why. I had good parents, at least what most people would call good parents. But I don't really believe in that. People don't have good or bad parents, whether they are unemployed criminals, drunks, or lawyers. They are just different parents, and all have children who fit in somewhere. I completely agree. I've known lots of people who've had terrible kids, and lots of terrible people who've had great kids. And some people have had no parents and have had great kids. I mean, you know what I'm saying. My father had no father in his life, really, but he grew up to be a great father. My father's a great father. My father's a great man. If you badmouth my father, I will hunt you down and kill you. In my mind, and I'd probably just punch you in the stomach. Maybe I'd block you. I don't know. Anyway, so he says, my mother is a medical doctor and my father is a teacher. Pretty good jobs then. My mother was the only child, good girl, a princess, but a lonely one. No siblings and no friends. Probably not many boyfriends, if more than one. Of course, she had one because he was born, right? So, she put out when it was time. So she wanted her kids to have others around. She made 8 of them. So this guy's got 7 brothers and sisters. My father, overly sensitive hippie, and the youngest child, father to 8. But I can't believe he ever wanted any. Never spent any time with kids despite having all the time in the world. He was unemployed for a long time. In his 40s, he studied to be a special ed teacher. So this writer, I'm kind of fixing some of the grammar mistakes, but pretty good writer actually. This guy, this person, this suicidal person. Then he says, "Me, I was the good son, first child, older than others by 5 years. I took my job as big brother seriously and cared for my family. Still do. I was also an older brother, the oldest brother. I also took my job kind of seriously, but the difference wasn't 5 years. Actually, on some of my siblings, yeah, but not my brother. My brother's only 1.5 years younger than me, but he looks like 10 years younger, the son of a bitch. Anyway, so he continues, I had all the things I needed growing up. I couldn't hang out with the rich, cool kids, but I had plenty. I had lots, right? Kind of too nice as a kid, bad at sports, but smart and worked hard. I didn't care about the friends I had, so I left them. It's impressive. I just studied through junior high school and high school, nothing else. And I was thinking, I am doing the right thing. Very confident in myself, as I have always been, doing my own thing. But at the end of high school, my isolation was making me regretful. Grades turned average by the time it counted most. And I couldn't get into good universities. Military service just made things worse. And I ended up in a bad school where I haven't been really studying at all for the last 5 years. So this writer, I guess, is in a university now. I was talking about suicide at a young age. Some of my earlier memories are of suicide, only ones I care to remember anyway. I was looking for the truth in world, truth in everything, truth about everything, people, life, science, future of our world, reasons for my mistakes. I just thought about those things. Expressing them is complicated. Talking to people distracts me from what is in the heart of things. I'm a good guy. I really care. Now I have some answers. I know things and have forgotten just as much. Yeah, I understand that. But it doesn't matter. No one cares. There is no value. That's a question, really. Is there a value? Is there any value? All the things... I lost my place. All the things... This is an incredibly long email. All the things I gave up. My friends, having a youth, doing stupid things, falling in love, having sex, getting a job, I have none of these things. What did I do? This Italian motion? I don't know. I wish I could write, turn my thoughts into something, but I'm no good at that. Should have spent some time with some writers. Should have studied something else. So, yeah, I'm really interested in this mail. Anyway, let's continue. I think there is a great balance in life. Everyone gets an equal share of something good. Everything has a price and a downside. You can't get it all. Yeah. You want a family? You need to give up your dreams of biking around Okinawa. All I have is my loneliness and my thoughts. Yeah, that's worth something, but not for other people, just for me. That's where I gotta say that's wrong, because look, I'm actually quite interested in your story. And to be honest, when I first opened this email, I was like, fuck, god damn, look at this fucking long email. I don't have time to read this shit. I mean, seriously, that's what I thought, because I don't. I mean, I got shit to do, man. It's 12:05 a.m. I got an early class tomorrow. I got to prepare. I got lessons to make, videos and lessons to make. Japanese for morons is being ignored. So, the value of your thoughts, what are they worth? They're not just worth something to you. That's what I want to say. But it's difficult. I mean, it's impossible. Okay, you're probably not going to sell them to Hollywood, but they are a commodity. You just got to find someone who wants to buy them, so to speak, who wants to spend time with your thoughts. So let's go back. So he says, yeah, that's worth something, but not for people, just for me. I don't really fit into the lives of all these other people, the people I want to relate to. We just have different situations in life, the things we want and people we are. Why should I try to pretend? Why should I forgive myself? What am I doing? What am I waiting for? Why not just kill myself? I am sure it's what people like me do. It's kind of interesting. He's like, well, people like me, we just end up shooting ourselves or killing ourselves. So I guess I got to do that, you know. It seems like he's almost like resigned to his fate, and he's decided what his fate is. I'm the kind of guy who ends up killing himself, so I guess I'll do that, you know. There's a I used to watch, well, two of my favorite TV shows are, I think his name is Darren Morgan. He used to work on the show Millennium. You have to look him up, but he did one show called The Devil Got Behind Me, or yeah, something like that. I don't remember. Somehow Satan Got Behind Me, something like that. You have to look it up. I think it's in season 2, maybe episode 21 or something. I'm spitballing here, but it's an amazing show. And if you look it up, it's really, if you can watch it online or something, it points at the futility of humanity, almost how silly we are. You know how, well, people, we're just resigned. A lot of us are just, well, I'm a human. I commit sins. I'm gonna go to hell. You know, what can I do? So, but he says, yeah, we just have different, like, what is it? What? Why should I pretend? Why should I forgive myself? Yeah, you don't have to forgive yourself. There's nothing to forgive. That's what I want to say. What do you want to forgive? So this is the last paragraph, which I want to put the guy for. He says, anyhow, I want to keep this short and sweet. You failed. I am sure you don't care. You have other things to think about. Yeah, well, yes and no. That's cool. I don't ask for people to understand. I don't need them to relate. People can do and think what they want. That's why I am so lonely and too self-confident for my own good. Still, I hope this explains something. Take care and good luck for you and your family, for your wife, for your future children. Thank you for realizing I do hope to have future children someday. For your friendship with Hiko Simon, for development of Japanese yen, for your cheap bottles of Jack Daniels. Here, there's a Jack Daniels empty one. I just keep it on the shelf for no reason. These days I'm drinking really cheap Tories. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. I love this one. Take care, and he says, for answering all the dull, repetitive questions. Yeah, I get those every day. Beating up rude smokers. I kind of give up. I've given up on that. Picking up cool Western guys from parks. He's talking about the German kid, crazy German cyclist. Defending honor of damsels in distress. That's when I attacked that guy who was beating up this girl, his girlfriend. And generally being a New Yorker in Japan. And I never thought about it, but I guess that's what I am. I am a New Yorker in Japan. And this very much feels like a suicide note to me, the ending. And I shouldn't do this, and I'm sorry if this guy gets offended. But I'm not going to put your name, but I'll put the suicide note in the description. You can read it. I hope you do read it. And I hope if anyone has something to say to this person, that they'll leave it in the comments, or send it to me and I'll forward it. But better to leave it in the comments if you can. You won't know who he is, and I don't want to be forwarding like 100 emails. No offense, but I got things to do. So, but this, this mail touched me a bit. I guess because I understand. I mean, I'm not suicidal, but I understand I sympathize with everything he says. You know, like, who the fuck cares about me? Why the fuck are you guys watching me? So that's the video for tonight. I'm an idiot. I should be making videos that make money, that get the hits. But I need to make these kind of videos because fuck it, who cares, you know? You make $50 on a video, or you say something you wanted to say. If I'd never made this video, I would have felt bad. So, or you know, it would have. Yeah, I would have felt bad. I would have been like, why? You know, you should make that video. So anyway, yeah. So listen, read the either listen to this video and leave a comment in the description. I mean, leave a comment to this guy, Mr. Suicidal. You know, Mr. What do we call him? Mr. Nobody. Let's call him Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. Because he thinks he's nobody, but he's not nobody. Mr. Somebody. How about Mr. Somebody? You can decide. Mr. Nobody, Mr. Nobody. Leave a message for him in the description. And I'll leave, like I said, I'll leave his long email in the description as well, and you can look at it. And if you can sympathize, if you have any advice for this guy, let him know, because all I can say is, don't you want to know what's going to happen tomorrow? Because I do. But I understand your feelings. And I hope you have something you want to see what happens tomorrow about, you know? Yeah, please don't kill yourself. That's all I got to say to you. I don't know you, but you know, and I'll never even know if you did it, because you could be dead right now, but you know, it would make me sad. God, how can you be sad about something you never know you're never gonna know the outcome? It's like watching a movie and then suddenly you turn off the ending. Like, what happened? Well, if you're alive, I hope you'll contact us, and at least contact me. Even if you don't want me to tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. But if you're watching this video, tell me you're alive. That's all I gotta say. Good night, everyone. Peace.